Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a prison. If you managed to find me in the intro, let me know down below there in the comment section where I was hiding. I think I did a pretty good job. The white concrete grid on the screen represents the amount of space required to make your build. If you are building the prison in a city, or you want it to look a specific way, or in amongst other builds, I would highly recommend making the grid, and also following the instructions on the screen to find the starting position and mark that out as well. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Begin by placing a cyan terracotta on top of the previously designated starting position. Dig 2 rows in the ground left of the terracotta, 1 and 2, and place stone in there. Place iron doors on top of the stone, and then opposite the doors place a row of 8 cyan terracotta extending left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then extend forwards by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then extend left by 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Then extend backwards by 2, 1, 2. Then extend left by 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We now extend backwards by placing a row of 19 cyan terracotta, well, extending back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We then want to extend across the back of the build by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Extend forwards by 2. 1, 2. Extend left by 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then extend inwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. And then extend left by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then all we have to do is just connect forwards, and this will, more or less, be the ground floor layout for our prison. So this is what it should look like, and just in case you're looking at this and thinking to yourself, that looks a little bit wonky, it's actually supposed to look that way, don't worry. With the ground floor laid out, ladies and gentlemen, we are now able to extend up some of the walls. So the most important part, I think, is the center. Not only because it's the largest, but because the other two parts connect to it. So come all the way to the front right-hand corner of the center part of the build, which is this block right here, this cyan terracotta. We want to extend on top of this block 8 light grey terracottas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then extend that 8th block all the way back with the idea of connecting it to the opposite corner on the back of the build, like this. And then we can take that same block that we have extended back and down and extend it across and down, and we can join it to the opposite corner on the opposite side. And now we are able to extend forwards and join it to the opposite corner on the front left side. So all of this works out rather nicely, and then we can just join across to where we very first started, and we have made the box shape that the centre of the prison is. And now that we've done that, we want to come to the entrance area. So right of this door, we want to place a row of 4 light grey terracotta up next to the door. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to extend to the left like this. And then we're going to extend forwards and connect back to the walls. So you can see how all of this molds together. Then we want to take that same 4th block and extend it backwards and join it down to this back corner here. And then we are able to extend across and join it to the rest of the frame of the prison. Now, if we come all the way over onto the opposite side, we once again come to the corner blocks. On top of this corner here, we want to place a row of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then if we extend this 7th block in and join it to the corner here, and then extend it back, join it down to the frame on the ground, extend it inwards, and join it once again back to the frame. In doing that, you will have laid out the base shape of the prison. It's a very simple building. With the shape of the building pretty much complete, all we have to do now is add some detail to the walls. There's not too much detail as this is a prison, but there are some windows. With bars on, but windows nonetheless. So, let's start here at the front of the build. Directly next to the door, we're going to place a vertical row of light grey terracotta, and then next to this, we want to place another terracotta just left of the bottom block, an iron bar on top of it, place an iron bar going left, terracotta, and then 2 more bars, 1, 2, and then if you add terracotta on the end here, you'll notice that those 2 windows are pretty much right in the centre of the build. So we're going to move on to the larger part of the build here, and we're going to start along the bottom, and we're going to place a row of 1, 2, 3 terracotta along the bottom here, with 2 iron bars on top of the end 2 blocks. Next to the bars, we want to leave a gap of 3 using terracotta, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 bars, 1, 2. 3 more terracotta, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 bars, 1, 2. And then just stick a terracotta on the end, and once again you'll notice that the windows are kind of perfectly placed in the middle of the build. Now if we place a few rows of terracotta above these windows, you can place them either directly above the iron bars or just place whole rows like I am. If you place 3 rows and then place once again iron bars directly above where we have iron bars on the lower row, then that is where iron bars want to be placed on the upper level of the prison as well. So now that we've placed all of those, we just want to shift on over to this side here. So it'll actually be easier if we place a row of terracotta here to kind of divide this area up. This row of terracotta is directly to the left of this part of the prison, so literally just like right there. And we are going to place a row of light grey terracotta along the bottom of the cyan. And then if we start from the left, on top of this row, we want to place 2 bars, 1 terracotta, 2 bars, 1 terracotta, 2 bars. And then if we apply the same up at the top, so up at the top here, if we place 2 bars in the corner, terracotta, 2 bars, terracotta, 2 bars, it doesn't matter which way we start on, it still ends up looking the exact same, and then we will fill the rest of that area in with terracotta. And now that we've done that, we are going to come to the back of the build, and we are pretty much going to apply the same to the back. So on the back of the build, we'll start on this side, because why not? We'll place a horizontal row of terracotta along the bottom, extend it up on the left side as we did the front. Along the bottom, 2 bars, terracotta, 2 bars, terracotta, 2 bars. Up at the top, you can just place the bars instead of the terracotta, because, well, you know where the terracotta is anyway. I suppose, regardless, I suppose you could just place the bars, it's just that with the terracotta it's a better visual representation. Anyway, moving along to the centre part here, we are going to copy what we have on the front. So I suppose we can just start off kind of like with a row of light grey terracotta just all the way along the bottom like this. And then if we start on this left side, we can place a terracotta and then 2 bars. 3 terracotta, 1, 2, 3, 2 bars. 3 terracotta, 2 bars, terracotta. And then we can leave a gap of 3, so 1, 2, 3 moving up, and I'm just going to extend that third row across horizontally, and then match up the iron bars with what we have below, because we're going to be filling all of the walls in together later. So with all of that complete, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move on to the side here, and this is where things are ever so slightly different. So first of all, let's just add a row of light grey terracotta to the right side here, connecting the top and the bottom. A row of light grey terracotta along the bottom. A row of terracotta on the left side, connecting the bottom and the top together. And then we are going to have 2 bars here on the left side extending in. 3 terracotta, 1, 2, 3. And then 2 bars. Easy as that. Now that we have added all of that detail to the walls, we are now able to fill all of the walls and the roofs in, which is really simple. Filling the prison in is really easy. First of all, we have to fill all of the outside walls in using light grey terracotta. It's as simple as that. Front, back, left, right, get it all filled in with light grey terracotta. There's nothing complicated about that whatsoever. All the way around the windows, make sure there's no gaps in the prison. If you leave a gap, somebody will probably climb out of it. So once that has been done, we now want to add some walls inside of the prison, but this is really simple and they're quite obvious where you have to add them. The middle of the prison, we want to separate from the left and right sides. So we literally just take the corners of the prison in the middle and join them front to back using cyan terracotta. On top of that, we simply just want to stack rows of light grey terracotta leading all the way up to the roof, and that will join in a square. So it will just join to the pre-existing rows. You'll know if it has worked out correctly. Once you have added those 2 interior walls which separate the entrance, where the prisoners live, and the cafeteria / shower area, those are the 3 parts of the prison, then we can work on the roofs. So the left roof wants to be a smooth, flat roof made using smooth stone. So just join the top of the left side of the prison together. The middle and the right side of the prison, we want to have, once again, smooth stone to fill the roofs in, but the smooth stone wants to be 1 row lower than the top of the light grey terracotta. So once all of those have been filled in using the smooth stone, we can move on to the next part. With your prison filled in, we are now able to work on some of the outer parts of the prison, which are still also really important, and they really help to bring the prison design together. So what I want to do first of all, once that has been done, I want to work on the watchtowers. So if you come to the front right hand corner of your grid and count and find the 5th block in, so this would be the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. We want to then place a row of 5 light grey terracotta extending up from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want to take the bottom of this and extend left by 2, 1, 2, back 2, 1, 2, across 2, 1, 2, and join backwards. Let's raise up all of the light grey terracotta to equal the height of the other rows of light grey terracotta. We then want to place around and above the edge of this a row of cyan terracotta. So this is going to flare the top of the guard tower out a row, like so. We then want to extend each one of the 4 corners upwards and place iron bars in between the corners, like so. Then place an iron bar on top of each one of the 4 corners of cyan terracotta with stone slabs on top. Extend the slabs around in a square pattern to join all of the iron bars together. We then want to place a layer of stone slabs that is half a row above and inside of the previous row of square stone. We then want to flare the very center block up like this. You may want to clean up the area just underneath. This takes a little doing, you've just got to be a little bit tricky with the blocks, but that is the guard tower. Now, with one guard tower complete, we are able to make 3 more of them. There is one on each one of the 4 corners of the prison. So to make the next tower, which is the only one that may be ever so slightly difficult to find the placement for, we want to take the front left-hand corner of the guard tower that we have just made. From this corner block, follow it all the way over to the left side of the build. When we find the grid, mark it out with a cyan, or rather light grey terracotta, and this is the front left corner of the guard tower. So we simply make this 5 rows high, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then extend it across by 2 in every direction to make a tiny little square, and then from there we can proceed to make the guard tower. Now, once this guard tower has been made, the one on the front left-hand corner of the build, the 2 remaining towers are really simple. We simply make them on the 2 back corners of the grid, extending inwards towards the center. Really simple to place and to make. Once you've made one, you've made 4 of them. With the 4 towers made, ladies and gentlemen, we are now able to move on to the next part. So what I want to do is establish some walls around the prison. This is really easy to do. If we start with the front right corner tower, find the middle of the left side, which is here, and place a cyan terracotta at the bottom. Extend up by 2, 1, 2, and then place a row of 3 iron bars in front of this. 1, 2, 3. And when I say in front of it, I mean like the entire row of terracotta. So, just like this. So, the idea is that this is an open gate. And from here, we want to leave a gap of 5 in the ground going left of the terracotta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to place stone in there because that's the material that we'll have later. And then on the opposite end of this row of 5, we want to place a row of 6 iron bars going left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this, and these will be stacked 3 rows high as well. I am really bad at placing iron bars on top of each other apparently, but that's okay. It's not like we've got a whole fence made out of it. And left of this, we are simply just going to place a row of cyan terracotta next to the iron bars. And from here, it's really simple. We want to connect each one of the 4 towers together. We're going to do that with iron bars. The iron bars want to join to each one of the 4 towers in the middle. So we want to have 3 rows of iron bars stacked on top of each other, joining each one of the 4 towers together in the middle of the towers, and underneath the 3 rows of iron bars, we want to have a row of cyan terracotta. Really simple. With the prison securely guarded by 4 unbreakable walls, except for this one, we are now able to add a little bit more detail to the surroundings. Next, we are going to dig out the majority of the floor in and around the prison. So first of all, I want to dig a row of podzol in front of the front fence of the prison. I also then want to dig in front of the stone that connects the fence and the guard tower together, dig the stone forwards to join it to the edge of the grid. This is going to be the road in and out of the prison. The first 3 rows of the grid I want to turn those into smooth stone. This is a pathway that can connect to a car park, to a road, to a street, to wherever. It'll just help to assimilate it into something. It isn't necessary, however, you can remove that if you don't like it. Moving inside of the actual prison walls, we want to have a small hedge surrounded by podzol in front of the front left hand corner of the prison building. This basically just smooths off this edge, it adds a bit of asymmetricality, not even sure that's a word, to the building. I like it. Once that has been done, we have to mark out the area that is going to basically be kept for the prison. What I mean by that is almost all of the prison grounds, are made out of stone. There's only 2 patches of grass. So, what this equates to is the entire front of the build, in front of the prison, and the left and right side is stone. That is what the ground will be replaced with. Along the back of the prison, we want to have 2 unbroken rows of stone paths. So just stone all the way around, snaking around the edge of the building, around the back of the prison. We then want to place stone extending outwards from that path, and the stone wants to extend from 2 rows left and right of the center part of the building. It wants to extend from those rows all the way to the back fence. That will leave, once that center area has been filled in with stone, and the sides of the prison and the front of the prison, once all of that has been filled in with stone, that will leave 2 patches of grass in the back left and back right corner. That's all there is meant to be. Easy peasy. All of that needs ripping up, replace it with stone, leave those 2 patches of grass. Once you've done that, you've completed this part of the tutorial. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope that you have enjoyed this part of the tutorial. Please do remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the little bell next to the subscription button. That will ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. If you want to make parts 2 and 3 of the prison, check down below in the description. You will be able to find each one of the individual videos linked clearly, easy for you to find. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye!